students, in today's video we will be learning about mastering implicit questions in Olevels English 1123 course code. So the students who are having difficulty in implicit questions, the deep questions, they are going to learn a lot today because explicit questions are direct. We can find the answers right away, but only implicit questions have some problems. So what are implicit questions? They are unstated meanings. For example, implicit questions delve into meanings or ideas that are not directly stated. You can see this. It is visible on your screen. They are not directly stated within the text. They challenge you to look beyond the literal words on the page. You have to look for the answers. So what is the art of inference? Answering these questions requires strong inference skills like the ability to read between the lines by using subtle clues and hints embedded in the writing. Like, you have to find your answers in between. For example, this is the example in action. The corridor was cold and windswept. It explicitly describes the setting, that what is happening, where actually it is going on in the corridor, right? But implicitly it suggests a chilling, potentially creepy or desolate atmosphere. And this is how you will be explaining the implicit questions. Implicitly it suggests a chilling. You have to explain in detail the detailed meaning of it. Explain the detailed meaning of it, like whatever you are seeing on the screen. Implicitly it suggests a chilling, potentially creepy or desolate atmosphere, not like explicitly describes the setting. Explicitly, of course, that's fine, but whatever implicit, whatever deep meaning it has, you have to explain that. Moving on to the next slide. Why are implicit questions important? Because they create deeper understanding. They assess your ability to grasp meanings beyond surface level facts, demonstrating a more profound engagement with the text. Then there are some interpretive skills. These questions test your capacity to interpret the author's tone, the author's mood, and underlying attitudes. What is underlying, what the author wants to say in deep. The crucial elements of literary analysis will be highlighted in these questions. So please, my dear students, work on your implicit questions, and I'm going to share a lot of examples with you today. Boosting your grades. Mastering implicit questions is vital. It's very important for achieving high marks in Cambridge O-Level English Language Paper 1 and 2. Differentiating the strong responses. So, how to identify implicit questions? There are some keywords to watch for. Pay attention to directive words like imply, suggest, infer, or those asking about the author's attitude. Then there are some unspoken hints as well. Alright, my dear students, so unspoken hints means that you have to ask yourself, what is the writer subtly hinting at? At what message, or what message are they conveying without explicitly stating it? You need to find the underlying meaning. You just have to pay attention to these kind of words: imply, suggest, infer, and asking about the author's attitude. So then you have to understand, okay, it's an implicit question, I have to answer like that. So utilize surrounding words, imagery, and the overall tone of the passage to piece together the unspoken message. Now there's a step-by-step approach to answer the questions. Please watch it carefully and note down, take screenshots so as to learn it. Thorough reading, that's truly important. Engage with the passage carefully, highlighting keywords and phrases that stand out or seem significant, important. Then, secondly, there are identify clues. Wait a minute. Identify the clues. Actively search for subtle clues or hints that point towards deeper, unstated meanings within the text. You have to identify the clues. Hold your pencil in your hand and identify the clues as well, Then there is logical inference. Formulate a logical inference that is directly supported by textual evidence, avoiding your personal opinions. You have to give a general perspective, share a general perspective, not sharing your personal opinions by he should do that, she should do that. No, you have to logically infer, right? So explain the effect. Yes, this is how you can also win. Articulate why the writer chose specific words or phrases to create that particular implicit effect or meaning. Then avoid assumptions. Ensure your answer is grounded in the text. Do not introduce information or assumptions not supported by the passage. This is something very, very important, that you are requested not to introduce information or assumptions which are not supported by the passage. Your answer should be within the text, whatever the examiner is actually asking you. Don't assume anything by your own self. So there are some sample implicit questions and high level responses as well, I'm sharing with you. Please just take screenshots, write down, practice such kind of questions. What does the writer imply about the corridor's atmosphere? Let's suppose, so this should be your answer, where you can easily achieve A star. The corridor is not just cold but profoundly air and unsettling, as implied by the imagery. See, the figurative language using, like shadows quake and shudder. Now you are using this example from the text. Always you have to extract the example from the text in the implicit questions to give clarity. Please keep this thing in your mind. This personification suggests a pervasive sense of fear and danger, hinting at unseen presences and a deeply disturbing environment rather than mere physical coldness. Moving on towards the common mistakes which you have to avoid are these four: mixing explicit with implicit. Don't confuse directly stated facts with the subtle underlying meanings the author intends to convey. Then there are unsupported guesses. Please avoid making inferences that lack concrete evidence from the text. If there is no evidence of it, please avoid adding those. Every interpretation needs textual backing. If that specific interpretation which you are making has a textual evidence, अगर वो बात text में mention है, then you are requested to extract it from the text and then you have to give the reference, right? Ignoring the context, disregarding the surrounding text or key descriptive words will lead to misinterpretations of implicit meanings. Please focus on what is asking in the text, what is required in the text, and then make your interpretations. Now there are some vague responses. Vague means unclear. So please don't make unclear responses. Steer clear of general or imprecise answers. Your explanations should be specific and linked directly to the writer's language, right? This is how you need to make. Then there are some tips to improve your implicit question answers. Practice makes a man perfect, and that you all know. Regularly work through past papers and review examiner comments such as those from Cambridge. Develop 1, 2, 3 example candidate responses. Please check them out. There is active reading habit. Please highlight the keywords, phrases while reading the literary devices in the passages that seem to carry deeper meaning, and infer, make your own interpretations. And then you're going to, practice this. It will help you a lot. Evidence is the key. Always substantiate your inferences with direct quotes. Where is the example in the text mentioned of the interpretation which you are giving, or clear references from the text to prove your point? This is how you can easily win. You have to extract the example from the text too. Not example exactly, the point which you are explaining, extract that point's phrase from the text as I showed you above. This was the one, shadows quake and shudder. I hope you got the gist of it. Now moving on towards the next thing, and that is clarity and precision. Use clear, concise language to explain the writer's purpose and the effect of their choice. So your task is practice implicit questions. Please to get more marks, because only you get stuck in the implicit questions. So what skills you have to apply? Carefully read the provided passage excerpt from a Cambridge 1, 2, 3 paper. Identify one implicit meaning that the writer conveys through their choice of words or imagery. Write a detailed 3 to 4 sentence response explaining your inference, ensuring it's backed by specific evidence from the text. And then submit your well-reasoned answer for feedback during our next class session. So I hope you have learned a lot during this implicit and explicit questions, and I've given you a sample response too. Please focus on this sample response, and I want such kind of responses in your paper 1, right? So please practice the implicit questions because they are the ones which you feel difficulty in. Okay, let me show you one more. This is the one data which I was teaching one of my students yesterday to read the question first. What can be inferred? What does this suggest about? How does the writer show? Why do you think? Then there are some implicit signals. Find the relevant lines and go back to the paragraph. Underline Actions, reactions, and comparisons. This is what you have to do. Ignore the decorative details. This you have to ignore. Ask yourself one key question: what does this behavior or description tell me? Not what happened. You don't have to tell what happened, please. You have to but tell what does it show. What does it show? This is your main focus. You have to convert the actions into qualities. This is my golden trick. This is Palvasha's golden trick, which you're getting right now. So please convert actions into qualities, right? For example, the actions in text are: the first is avoids eye contact. Agar to aapko if you are getting such kind of action like this, so this implied meaning is guilt and fear. Somebody who speaks sharply, what does it shows? It shows the anger and impatience. Somebody who repeat the words, if the writer has written that he repeats words, again and again, it means it shows his nervousness and anxiety. Someone who helps silently, quietly helps, it means he is empathetic, kind, selfless. You have to tell the underlying meaning. Somebody who hesitates, it means it shows the uncertainty or lack of confidence about that person. So answer in your own words, use neutral and clear, means one idea, means one sentence. Please don't repeat, don't repeat the ideas, don't drag the information. This is how things will work, and always focus on one golden rule, and that is that please convert actions into qualities. I'm just summing it up here, that convert actions into qualities. This is how you are going to win in your implicit questions, right? So this was all from my side, and don't forget to watch my channel English with Palvisha, and I hope you have found this today's video quite useful. So if you found it useful, please mention in the comment section below what was most difficult for you in the upcoming sessions. I'll be trying my level best to make videos on them. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more useful content. Allah Hafiz.